Hello everyone, welcome to the Jagriti Yatra's Meet the Yatripreneur Google Hangout series. My name is Anant Krishna. I will be moderating the discussion today with our Yatripreneur. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A tab on your top left side and ask the questions and we'll get to it at the end of the discussion. And if you want to be featured in this series, please drop an email to ashwinyogesh@gmail.com. He's the producer of these series. Today's Yatripreneur is Kalyani Khodke with her business Range Design Studios. We are in Nashik for it. We are going to get into the world of product design. Kalyani, welcome to Meet the Yatripreneur. Kalyani, welcome to Meet the Yatripreneur. Kalyani can't hear you. Ashwin, do you want to unmute Kalyani? Ashwin?
Yes, she'll be back now.
Yeah, go ahead, Kalyani.
Yeah, thanks, Anant. It's been great to be part of Jagriti Yatra in some manner again.
All right. So tell us about Range Design Studios.
Range Design Studio is a design and innovation consulting firm, and we design strategy, we design products and training modules for our clients.
Okay.
And create a positive impact through it.
All right. So you used three big words. I'm going to ask you to explain in a little more detail of what exactly is design. What is product design?
It's not just about product design, like you make an automobile or you design a furniture or something like that. But
Okay.
we do products as well as strategy, and we also do a lot of experience design. So basically, we do innovation in that sense.
Okay, give us an example of a design. Do you have any with you right now?
Yeah, I have. We have done a few automobile designs. Like we have made a toy cart. If Ashwin can show us that the picture. So it's an electric toy car that we had done where kids can sit and drive.
All right.
Then we had done electric personal mobility scooters for adults.
Okay.
Which you can keep it, you can fold the electric bike, put it in your car, take it out on crowded roads, crowded streets, use it, keep it back like that.
All right.
Then we have also done, sorry?
I see a picture of the car that is showing up. It's like a red
yes, that's what it is.
Wow. And
So,
this you designed from scratch?
It's design and it's the real photograph of the car. We have also modeled it. We have also prototyped it.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
That's handmade.
Oh, wow. And what is the material that is used?
We have used fiberglass.
Oh, wow. All right. And this was designed in your studio and fabricated with the help of somebody else?
Yeah, we have a vendor who did a little bit of work, but most of the shape has been done by me and my junior with hand.
All right. That's a great introduction to Range, Kalyani. So, you know,
so
yeah,
these
that's
are the
another example. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Then we also did some educational toys, which includes some toys from which you can learn physics. Then there are building blocks, if Ashwin can put that in. Those are 100% natural wooden blocks that we have done. So basically, the philosophy of education toys is to explore, to allow kids to explore things. And
so what
then
kind
we
of,
have.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead, Kalyani. Go ahead.
Then we also published this a book, a picture book on poems and pictures, so that kids can learn through books as well.
Wow, awesome. I'm just spellbound looking at the car itself. It just looks like a real one. I want one too. What kind of people are, your clients? Like, what kind of people want like such services from you?
Right now we have companies from automobile sector. We have a few hospitals we are working with. Then we have institutions working with. So these are our these are the organizations where we provide consultancy. And the car that you saw was an in-house project that we did.
I see. So you do in-house on your own, and you also have people that are looking for, advice and strategy from you in this space. So give us a bit of a background. How did you get started into this?
Actually, I am more passionate about automobiles and I wanted to create my own car. So what we did
Right.
was, to start with, we wanted to make this electric toy car, which was, I
Right.
think, first in India, because nobody manufactured something like this in India at that time, and people used to import it, and they used to be very expensive. So we started with this particular toy car,
Right.
and then as like people got to know about the work, and they thought that we can help them in their hospitals or institutes or with NGOs.
Right.
So through word of mouth, it just different work started coming in, and we were more than happy to diversify.
So give us an insight into how a client approaches you and what is the steps you take right from, when they approach you with something. What do you do the first thing?
The first thing they come up with is, we want a product. I mean, two,
Okay.
three times what has happened is, one of the hospitals came and they said, we want a new setup. So what we do is, we ask a lot of questions to them. Why do
Uh-huh.
you need this new equipment?
Uh-huh.
Why do you need a new setup? And
Uh-huh.
then we try to get to the root cause, that whether the need is of a instrument or a setup, or
Uh-huh.
they need something else.
Okay.
So we have experienced 3 or 4 times that the client wanted a product. Instead, when we asked more questions, we thought a better strategy is needed, and
Right.
finally we gave them the strategy, and
Okay.
that worked well. So
Okay.
once, because most of the time the client itself don't know that what is the latent need.
Right.
So that's what we are good at, finding maybe problems and
Right.
then ideating on that.
Right. And then some people want prototypes as well, right? Some people want design as well, right? Some people
That's
want
the
some.
biggest.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the biggest strength Range Design Studio has. What we do is, whenever we are doing a product, we quickly test it.
Uh-huh.
We identify the critical component, we call it as a showstopper. So
Uh-huh.
showstopper component, like in the toy car, it is the gear and motor mechanism.
Okay.
So what we do is, we first get clear with the critical components,
Uh-huh.
so that the client is also assured that this is going to be a successful design, and
Okay.
then we make a final prototype out of it, and then the design progresses. So that's how we do it. We do prototyping as well. Many a times it is in fabrication of metal, or sometimes
Uh-huh.
into plastic and composites.
So do you do the fabrication in-house or do you actually take that design that you've made in-house and give it to some other person?
Yeah, we have a very good circle of vendors. Through these vendors we get it done.
Okay. So I heard you say that you do consulting. I heard you say that you actually design the product in-house. I
Yes.
heard you say also that you do fabrication with other people. Now,
Yes.
these are is this the complete business model of all your services?
Yes. We also offer training programs on
Uh-huh.
design thinking and innovation.
Okay, what exactly is that training program?
It's basically, in the competitive world, people want something new, or people want to improve certain things, but they don't
Okay,
know how and how to go about a new idea. So we
okay,
empower the participants with thinking tools,
right.
which can create a framework for their design, and and deliver some incredible results.
So
So
give us an
basically,
example.
we build the capabilities of the participants to think for innovation, develop
Okay,
that culture.
so give us an example of that.
Example of a training program.
Yeah. Like in a real world setting.
Yeah, like one of the training programs we did for an educational institute,
Uh-huh.
where the students were asked to identify problem.
Uh-huh.
So obviously, initially they thought the bus is not there, the canteen is not good, and this and that. But there was one problem that was identified, was with the registration process.
Uh-huh.
And then the students, with the help of tools, instead of asking us, ma'am, whether this is right or wrong,
Right.
the tools empowered their thinking so much that
Right.
they could actually figure out a better registration process. They could put it
Uh-huh.
forward to their authorities, and the authorities also thought, oh wow, this seems to be good.
I see. So here it is also like process design as well. It's not product design alone. Like you corrected me earlier. It is strategy
Yeah,
and process design. So
yes,
you look at a system and you try to improvise and create efficiencies in that system.
yes. In fact, one of our corporate training programs, That actually they developed a product in 2 days. They
Right.
developed a framework for a product design, and which
Right.
obviously they were going to take it ahead next. So with this particular training program, they just expand their possibilities of thinking, and
Okay.
so far they have really shown very good results.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm going to go back to an earlier point that you made about in-house products. How
Yeah.
do you decide, how do you decide which in-house product you want to develop? Say, do you sleep on it and suddenly get a dream that you have this idea, this design, and you really want to do it? Is that something how an in-house product is born?
I wish that would have been the case, then we could have done a lot more products. But with observations, lot of observations, lot of travel and understanding people of the country, we can
Okay.
find insights through it, through the observations. And those insights help us to find the latent need and address it maybe with a product or a
Okay.
service or a strategy.
And
So
then how
it's
do you? Okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so it's mainly because of observation and empathy towards our people, clients or people, I would say.
But do you also have a financial criteria that you say that this is the cost of investment, and so is that something that is you talk about?
For in-house projects, sometimes um, we do have to shelf a project for limited finances.
Uh-huh.
But obviously, when things become good, we take it up again. But for some projects which are like they are must to do,
Uh-huh.
we follow it irrespective of the financials.
How do you do business development? How do you advertise your services right now?
Thankfully, right now our existing customers are spreading a lot of good things about us because they are happy with our work, and so we are getting
Right.
more work.
Right.
Otherwise, we have website through which a few clients are coming,
Okay.
and
Now,
obviously, yeah,
go ahead and finish. Sorry.
yeah, obviously with current network and all, we want to diversify further,
Uh-huh.
maybe through banking. So we will be approaching few clients then, and that's how we plan to develop it further.
But you don't have a specific vertical focus, do you? I mean, you just
No,
keep
no,
it
no.
as broad as possible, right?
Yes.
Do you feel a sense of competition from China? I mean, it seems like there's a lot of cheap fabrication places there, cheap whatever places there. I mean, is there a sense of competition to that? Is that a threat for you at all?
When we talk about direct to market products,
Uh-huh.
definitely we have lot of competition. In fact, the toy car that was displayed over here.
Uh-huh.
So when we started, that used to cost about 20-25,000 in India at
Okay.
retail.
Uh-huh.
But after 2 years, while we were developing it, suddenly the Chinese toys flooded the market, and it
Right.
got to 6,000, 7,000 rupees.
Wow.
So obviously we cannot compete at that level.
Uh-huh.
At the same time, then if we don't have to compromise on quality, then
Right.
that becomes really difficult.
But is it something you say that let me design it here in-house and let me get the Chinese to fabricate it and send it to me? Was that analysis did you do, or is that just too expensive and not possible?
Actually, that was done, and we were in talks of a few with few Chinese manufacturers as well. But the problem
Uh-huh.
is, if we are giving more business to China, it's like we are creating more opportunities there.
Right.
I mean, that was more idealistic for us to not to go to the Chinese people. Instead, we spoke with a few kids' toy manufacturers in the country itself. But
Right.
again, that takes really long time to get through.
Of course, of course. Now, you did use a word direct to market. Now, I'm
Yes,
assuming that is tied to an in-house product that you do, right? I mean, you
yes.
do an in-house product and you go direct to market. You don't have any clients saying that design it for us and we'll take it to market or anything of that sort, right?
No, that is also the option available. A client gets designed from us. Sometimes they also get manufactured things from us, and they
Okay.
sell it on their own label.
Oh, I see. I see. I see. And
So
you
we
just charge for design or you charge for any royalty as well? You get a commission for every sale? Just
uh,
curious.
we if we sell the intellectual property rights to them,
Uh-huh.
so then that's one time payment that we get.
Okay.
But we haven't charged for royalties as such. We have given the design rights completely.
Is that the normal practice?
No, it depends on which option works better.
Okay, okay. And how big is your team, Kalyani, right now?
Right now, we are three people.
Three
I
people,
mean, me
okay.
and my two colleagues.
So what is the profile of a skill set for a design studio? I mean, you are the visionary, right? And you are the philosopher and the visionary. What are the skill set that you need for a product design team?
Actually, when you say you are an entrepreneur or something, you have started up with something, then you are not just the visionary, but also
Right.
what I should say, a clerk and a peon also who does everything.
Very well said. Very well corrected me. So, but what
Yeah.
does your team? What does the team do? I mean, what is? How do you staff a team for a
Yeah,
design?
but apart from that, basic thinking and business management is what I take care of. Then I
Uh-huh.
have a few designers who do 3D modeling
Okay.
because we do a lot of computer related, I mean, CAD and 3D modeling, so they do that. Then we
Okay.
have one graphic designer as well
Okay.
who does a little bit of rendering and styling for us.
And all your fabrication is outsourced, right? I mean, you have
Yes,
vendors that do it,
what
right?
we do is manufacturing. Generally, we go through vendors because it is impossible at this stage to have every facility, right, from plastic molding to fabrication to aluminum casting and all to have in under one roof.
Right.
And especially when you have people doing that already, whose capacity is underutilized, then why
Right.
not give them some work and get things done?
Good point. And you have a
So,
relationship.
so
You have a
it's a
list that
win-win
you have.
situation. Yeah, it's win-win situation for both.
True. Very true. But you have a list as well, right? Of all kinds of vendors that you have. If somebody aluminum,
Yes,
plastic, whatever molding
yes.
that you need to do. I see. I see. Where do you see the future for range? I mean, where do you go with it?
I would dream it very, very, very far from here.
Okay. Like given
But
a sense of numbers, I mean, is it a sense of numbers, should I ask you, or is it a sense of, designs of products or some sector like a social sector or people's life affected? You said a social impact also in the beginning. Is
yes,
that
yes.
something a criteria for you as you look in the future?
Yes, obviously. I think I would like to develop range design studio in line with how Tatas have shaped their enterprise. It's not just economically sustainable, but also doing a lot of social good. And having said that, it's not social good for weaker section of the society,
Okay,
but to empower that section would be more crucial than just helping people out and stuff like that. And plus, we would like to, as far as work goes, here, Anand, I would not be talking about financial numbers, like
yeah,
how much profit we have to earn,
of
but
course. No, no,
definitely
yeah,
we would like to engage more employees and
yeah,
get
yeah,
into
go.
diversified field, right from Save Tiger campaigns to maybe helping our member of parliaments and ministers.
Oh, wow. It's a whole world is
And
open to you. Yeah,
yeah, and army and air force. I mean, we would like to work with all of them and creating something really, really wonderful.
right. But you also are planning to then have a bigger team, right? I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
yes,
That's the prerequisite. That's what I said. Keep first, we would like to engage more employees, and
right.
then get into all these stuff.
I'm gonna throw some general questions at you, and then I'm gonna open it for other questions that people have asked.
Okay.
A couple of general questions is
Hello, Anant.
I
Ashwin, Anant is missing.
yeah, he already warned us regarding this. I think
Oh,
his power went off.
ah,
Maybe we can talk about some of your products. I'll put up the pictures.
yeah.
So this one, the building blocks. Can
Yeah, we
you?
had building blocks. Then there was one interesting story about one of the hospitals.
Okay,
They asked to make a new equipment.
okay,
They had existing equipment there, but they asked us to make new. This is wooden blocks. It is 100% natural, so completely safe for kids.
okay. There is one more product that you've shown me.
I think there will be two, three.
This one, what is
Yeah,
this?
this is a tractor seat that we had done for one of the auto ancillary.
Okay,
This is a training program that we do, which is named as Think.
okay,
Yeah,
this one.
this is the tractor seat. Then this one is a food drop splint. What's happening?
I think there is a delay. Okay, anyways. So, okay,
Yeah, if you see, the one on your right hand side is a conventional splint.
right.
A patient with a foot drop generally uses it. Uh, and the one on the left has been designed by us so that
Okay,
it can save a lot of efforts and make it comfortable for the patient. Otherwise, with the conventional one, the patient has to wear the splint first, then shoes, remove shoes, then the splint. So instead, we created an inbuilt footwear for that.
right.
So that's one of the products in healthcare category.
Okay. So this tractor seat, what is
Yeah.
this? What's different about this?
This was also done for a client of ours, which is a good auto ancillary. They supply for Mahindra and Sonalika tractors. So they wanted us to design a best-in-class tractor seat for India.
Hmm.
At the same time, it should be really low in cost.
Ah,
So we could manage that well for them, and that's what we did for them.
right. Hey, again, I had a question for you. Okay, let me
Yes.
use this opportunity to ask. So you didn't get yourself a proper formal academic education in product design, right? You did your BTech in mechanical engineering, and you didn't
Yes.
do a specialization in it.
No, I didn't go for a PG or some specialized course because after that I was working, after my engineering, I was working with Tata Motors for quite some time. And
Right.
there I could learn a lot of things, right from business management to, how a product is developed. And that experience really helped me and it is helping me still.
Right. Okay, let me find out this one. I'm just coming back.
I think Anand is going to take a lot of time.
Okay, or let me take questions from the audience.
Yeah, I think I can read one question from Ankur Gupta.
Yeah, Ankur Gupta is asked. Yeah,
In
can you?
initial days, how did you manage funds?
Right.
Should I answer that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you
sure.
should. Please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, hi Ankur. Actually, like I said, I was working with Tata Motors for quite some time,
Okay.
and I had something at the back of my mind that I want to start my own business. So I was accordingly saving for it,
Okay.
and
And
that really helped.
and how did you manage to get a team like this kind of designing? It required a lot of team, like people who give you metals or fabrics or computer design, CAD CAM. So how did you manage with all that like work?
Initially, I myself got trained into the softwares of design,
Okay.
and then slowly, as the work progressed, people started thinking, yeah, we can go with the company. But the problem with even today that we face is there is a lot of iteration
Okay. Okay.
because India is still having a lot of shortage of product designers, so people tend to go
Yes.
off. So right now, we also manage through contract, like we hire freelancers and
Okay. Okay.
um,
Okay.
compete.
And do you want to share any challenges which you faced in the initial phases, like especially for
I
a
think
product
we
design
faced
company?
I think we faced a lot of challenges initially, and I think today also we are facing a lot many.
Yeah.
So, but it's fun. I mean, that's how entrepreneurship goes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And regarding again going back to your previous question regarding hiring people, this is
Hmm.
an open call for people who are interested in design and innovation. Just write to me and let's see how we can work together.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Ankur.
All right, Kalyani, I'm back online. Sorry about
Great,
that.
great, great,
Yeah,
Anand.
so I'm just going to finish the general questions that I had, and I'm going to come back to open Q&A.
Okay.
Is what are some of the lessons learned through the process of starting up back from 2009? What are some of the lessons you've learned so far?
The lessons I learned first and the most important is you should be very, very clear and honest with your thinking. And
Right?
second lesson is anytime external conditions can just disturb your plan.
Yeah. Which is,
So
you want to
just
give an example of that?
yeah, like the for the toy car I mentioned that the Chinese just flooded the market with the cheap versions.
Right.
and we could just not compete with them at that price.
Of
So,
course.
so the market conditions are volatile and they're not going to remain same. So even if today there is no competition, tomorrow you never know what happens. So you should be
Indeed.
prepared for that. At the same time, be strong enough to face the adversities.
Well said. Who are your role models, Kalyani?
If you consider with respect to entrepreneurship, it has to be Tatas.
Hmm.
Undoubtedly, I mean, I can talk about them for length. And
Of
my
course.
personal role models, I would say, would be Michael Schumacher and Sachin Tendulkar.
Oh wow, Michael Schumacher, huh? What a yeah, I didn't expect that. All right. So I have one last question, which is basically how do people reach you? I mean, I think you already said that you are looking for people, but how do people
Yes.
reach you? What are your different coordinates?
They can search me on Google Kalyani Khodke,
Okay,
and
that's no problem.
and they might get some leads through LinkedIn. Obviously,
All
they
right.
can contact you. Anant, I need her contact number or email ID.
Email. You can share your email. Do you want to share your
Yeah.
email?
Yeah, my email is kalyani@rangedesign.in. It's
All right.
KALYANI@rangedesign.in.
Awesome.
Or they can also go to our website, which is www.rangedesign.in.
All right, so I'm going to ask the questions that have been listed. I don't know which if they were asked before, but Deepak's question was, "What is your R&D strategy?" Was that asked before?
No, our strategy was not asked.
Okay, go ahead.
Uh, that's a very secret question. Should I answer that?
Okay. I mean, do you want to give a general? You want to give a general
No, no.
answer? Yeah.
No, actually, it's more related to what kind of project or what kind of problem we are taking up.
Okay.
So, if that is the case, we basically follow a simple philosophy. First of all our designs are focused onto three P's. One P is people, second P is price, and third P is planet.
Mm-hmm.
So based on this, we take it further. The most important and the strength of Range Design Studio is a quick build process. Like I mentioned earlier, early to fail or early to succeed is better. So we identify critical components, get the showstoppers right, and then proceed. And of course, we do testing as well of the products that we are doing. So that's how we go about it.
All right. I've got a couple
If
of questions from Nitish. Are you done, Kalyani?
yeah, I
Okay.
hope I'm clear with the R&D strategy.
Okay. Well, if Deepak has a follow-up, he can put it in the chat window. I'm going to ask a couple of questions from Nitish Rajpurohit. He's
Okay.
asking, how important is studying design thinking formally? Can someone learn great product design just by doing?
Just by doing?
Just by doing. That's what his thing is. So I guess he's saying that do you need formal education in product design?
I don't think so.
Okay. And
Because Henry Ford or the big names, I don't think they have any of the formal degrees with them. But obviously, you need that much passion into design, and you should know how to think correctly in that direction. Because obviously, even if you take a formal training, it is not expected that you can design any type of product. But if you have right thinking direction, then you can always study and do a design in electronic field as well as in automobile or any other.
his
So
second
it's
question
right
is what is
thinking
the
and
process?
passion.
Okay, go ahead. You said, sorry, go ahead and finish that. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. So passion and right thinking, that's what is more important.
All right. So his second question is what is the process of making a device developed in an engineering college project into a marketable product?
First of all, you should have a very good idea to start with for an engineering project work. Then second, you have to analyze whether this particular product is really solving or adding value to in real world. And if the two answers are yes, then obviously you will have to look into economics. If that is also good, then I think you should start up immediately after your B project and take it up further for mass production.
All right. Siddharth, do you
And
have a question you want to
one
ask?
more, Anand.
Yeah, go
Anand,
ahead.
one
Go
more.
ahead.
If
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
idea is very good, patent it so that you can also sell the IP rights.
We never talked about IPR, Kalyani, though very quickly. Do you look into patenting your ideas, what you come up with in-house?
We have already patented our idea.
Okay, but do you look at that for everything that you do?
No, not for everything, only for a few special products which we really think are unique and which will be very good to sell.
And can you just throw a number approximately how much does it cost to patent in case
Actually,
anybody
if
is
you're
listening?
not hiring a patent attorney, it might cost you about 10,000, less than 10,000,
Oh, really?
if you do
Okay,
everything on your own.
I see. I see. And then you can do that as a process or a product? Both?
Both, both.
Okay. Okay. All right. Siddharth, I think, has a question. Siddharth, do you want to ask your question?
Yes, Anant, and hi, Kalyani.
Hi, Siddharth.
Yeah, I mean, my question is multiple parts, but let
Okay,
me make it as brief as possible.
okay.
The first part would be saying that if you're talking about a small number of people, and
Yes.
you are what you would probably call a startup in its beginning stages, in terms of the organization structure. So,
Okay.
for a lot of us here, we are looking at how do you get your first break in your clientele. Number one. Number two, how do you look at scaling a business? I mean, since you're now doing tractor seats, you're doing medical, you're doing a lot of fields. How do you
Yes.
diversify and scale? And
Mm-hmm.
number three, how do you choose, or how do you drop out? I mean, if you're doing plastics and you're doing
Yes.
wood, doing a lot of things. So how
Yes.
do you choose? This is what I want to do.
See okay, let me answer your third question first because it is more simple. Like we are
Okay.
doing plastic, we are doing wood. It's the material that we play with.
Okay.
And for a given product, basically the R&D or the thinking that goes into it, we always think about what is the best material the product should have. Like for the building blocks, as I mentioned, it is for kids. Most of the time, kids start licking it. And there are cases with Chinese plastic toys, kids have suffered from food poisoning and all. So thereon we decided to take wood because it is natural. Children can feel the touch of it. At the same time, if they leak, since it is natural, there is not going to be any harm. So that's how we decide onto the material. As far as the toy car is concerned, obviously because you have to give beautiful contours to the car body, we had to go in plastic because that is not possible in wood or sheet metal. So that's how we decide on to the material.
Sure.
Is this question okay?
Yeah. I mean, this
Answered?
is great. This is great.
Huh. And
But
obviously, having said that, it's not the case that this is my wish material and I don't have a facility to execute it. So that's why we have a good set of vendors. We share a very good relation with our vendors, so they manufacture it for us, and
sure.
that really relieves a lot of stress.
Yeah, and about starting up and then diversifying, what would you like to probably?
See, it's very important to start in first place, and as you start, obviously you get different directions to the work, and when people see, they think, oh, you can help, and that's how you diversify. We did not diversify into healthcare intentionally, but it was a client that came in, roped us, and we just delivered and felt, oh wow, we can further diversify.
Sure. And
So
I mean,
obviously, when you go ahead, you start finding your way.
sure. I mean, just one last connected question so far as I see.
Yeah.
So you've started off as this one. So how did you look at your finances of saying this is how much I need to put in, or is it just that you put in something and then started off with it?
To start with, initially I had done some provision by saving money through my which I used to get through salary, and
Okay.
obviously then I wanted it to be self-sustaining. And like you said, initial investment is necessary because we have to buy computers and softwares and stuff like that. So that investment is very important. So that we did, and then as we started getting work, that money just came into circulation and relieved us from the finances as well.
Sure. Thanks, Kalyani.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Kalyani, I'm going to ask a quick question. Actually, it's a great question to end with. Is why did you think? What made you think to be an entrepreneur? From Deepak.
Sorry?
What made you think to be an entrepreneur? It's a
What
question from
very,
Deepak.
um,
Like you had a job, right? What made
yes.
you get out and say that I want to do entrepreneurship? I want to
See,
be on
I
my
was
own.
very, I was very happy with my job with Tata Motors as well, and it was a dream job for me. But somewhere at the back of my mind, since my engineering days, I had something that no, I have to start on my own, and I just wanted to broaden my perspectives as well. So that's how entrepreneurship happened.
All right, and here you are after 3 years, right?
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Kalyani, I have to end it. We run out of time. We wish Range Design Studios the best. We wish you the best, and we hope to catch you again in the future.
Yeah. Thanks, Anand. Thank you all.
All right, bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good night. Bye bye.
Bye.